Hi, I'm Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the Drug House Odyssey. And Odyssey is a journey, and today's journey takes us through a realistic situation of what happens every day across this country in cities and towns. Choices that young people make with regard to drugs and alcohol. Today's Odyssey will show us what happens when young people make good choices, and sadly, what happens when they make poor choices.
What do you get for the
Yo, it's called the girls. Now we have a real party.
Sweet, bro. But, I think we're all out of beer, man.
You have anyone to buy it from?
Dude, that party. The one we went to like a couple weeks ago, there was that guy. He said that he would hook us up with booze if we ever needed any. What was his name, man?
Travis.
Travis, bro. Call him up, so that way we have some drinks for when the girls get here.
Yeah, I got you. Yo, Travis, it's Billy. What's up, man?
Surprise party has arrived.
What is she doing here?
What? What's wrong?
She's my sister.
Yeah, she's my friend.
It's not the point.
Hey, what cares?
What are you doing here? You know you're not supposed to be here.
What's the problem? I'm just trying to have some fun.
That's the problem. You're not supposed to be like me. You're supposed to go to school, get good grades, do sports and stuff. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that maybe if I go to parties like these and get seen around school with Molly and you guys, then people will think I'm cool.
Actually, this isn't like you.
This is me. This is the new me. The fun me.
Yeah, well, what are mom and dad gonna think when they
Mom
see
and
you acting
Dad
like
aren't gonna
this?
find out now, are they?
Okay, Ashley, look, please go home.
Whatever. I'm tired of being lectured about drinking by someone who's clearly drinking.
I'm not driving, okay? I know what I'm doing.
Whatever. Molly, this party blows. Let's go find some cool place to chill. Yeah.
Bro, can you believe her right now?
Yeah, that's how she is, man. Travis should be there soon. He's bringing the drinks.
Really? How close is it?
I think that's him right there.
Who is that? Are those cops?
What?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
This party's over, man.
He's done for. Let's just sit down and listen to some tunes, I guess, man.
Hi, I'm Mary Fisher, Lee County School Board. You know, every day we have decisions to make, and now we're seeing the results of some decisions that Sam, Ashley, Molly, and Billy made. What better choices could Sam and Billy have made when having this party? What choice could Molly and Ashley have made when they arrived at the party? Pretend you were invited to this party. What would you say and do?
Hi, I'm Chief Newland from the Cape Grove Police Department. We want you to be safe. I'm wondering if Sam, Ashley, Molly, and Billy ever talk to their parents about being in trouble like this. I know some kids use a secret code like X and they text their parents, mom or dad or adult, and they come pick them up, no questions asked. They want you to be safe. So if you have an opportunity, speak to your parents about that. Let's see what happens next.
Hey sir, how you doing?
Doing good.
I'm Officer Gray with the Cape Coral Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is you ran the stop sign at the intersection back here. Any reason for that?
No, officer.
No? Okay. All right. What's your name?
Travis.
How old are you, Travis?
18.
All right. Travis, I can see there's a beer can right there. Any reason? You got the beer can?
Just a little drink.
You've been drinking tonight?
Just a little.
Why don't you hand me that beer can? Travis, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have you step out of the vehicle for me, come onto the back. Travis, go ahead and close that door for me. Come on back here. All right, Travis, based upon what I saw of your driving pattern and my contact with you there beside the car, I believe you might be under the influence. I'm going to ask you to participate in some field sobriety exercises. Are you willing to participate?
Yes, officer.
You are? Okay. What we'll do is, can you see this yellow line that runs alongside your car here?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to have you walk up to that end of the line there, turn around and face me. Not going to fall down, are you? All right, Travis. What I'd like you to do is place your left foot on that line with your right foot directly in front of it, just like so. Travis, when I ask you to begin, I'm going to ask you to take 9 steps along this line. At the end of the, don't start until I tell you, okay? All right, when I ask you to begin, I'm going to have you take 9 steps along the line. Travis, remember at all times when you're walking, make sure your heel touches your toe. Keep your arms down by your side. Look down at your foot and count your steps out loud. Once you start walking along the line, don't stop until you get back to this position. Do you understand what I've explained to you?
Yes, officer.
No questions. You can begin. All right, Travis, you can stop. All right, Travis, what I'd like you to do is turn around and face away from me. Travis, I'm placing you under arrest for driving under the influence. Do you understand?
Yes, officer.
All right, I'm going to ask you to provide a sample of your breath in order to determine its alcohol content. Are you willing to provide one?
Yes, officer.
All right, Travis, turn around. Let's walk this way. All right, Travis, have a seat.
I'm Deputy Chief Lisa Barnes with the Cape Coral Police Department. What our officer over here is doing is conducting field sobriety with Travis. We need to make sure that he and every other driver isn't driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Each year, 17,000 people are killed in drunk driving accidents, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you or somebody else that you love. What would you do if one of your friends had been drinking and they asked you to get in a car and ride with them? Practice what you would say or how you would handle it.
I'm Mayor Randy Henderson, Mayor of Fort Myers, Florida. But more importantly, I'm a father, a dad of 3 young adult children. Nothing has been as inspiring as raising children in my life, and we've worked hard to try to inspire good choices for our children. Today we learned of Travis's fate, and now Travis will need to have his day in court.
All rise.
Thank you. Please be seated. We are here today for a sentencing hearing in the case of the state of Florida versus Travis Davis. Mr. Davis, you've been convicted of the crime of DUI, which is a first-degree misdemeanor, where if you were an adult, that'd be punishable by up to a year in jail and or a $5,000 fine. However, this is juvenile court and you are subject to different penalties. Before I proceed to sentencing, I'd like to hear from both yourself and your attorney, Ms. Justin.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to introduce you to my client, Mr. Travis Davis. Mr. Davis is a 17-year-old high school senior. He has an active scholarship to go to the Florida State University and play basketball on a full ride. While at Florida State, he plans on studying to become a teacher. I'd also like to tell you about my client's background. He's from a single mother home, and he has a younger brother and sister who look up to him. He's their role model. Your Honor, we'd ask you to take leniency and understand that Mr. Davis has his whole future ahead of him, and he knows he made a mistake. And I believe my client would like to say something as well.
I would first off like to apologize for my actions. I've known that it caused more harm than good, and I know that I have younger siblings and kids in general that look up to me, and knowing that they just see me drinking and driving is not a good influence on them, and that's what I want to be, is a good influence on them. So, Your Honor, I really do apologize, first of all, and I just hope that you can see and have some courtesy on me.
Mr. Davis, you're here today because you made a choice, and all choices in all parts of life have consequences. Your choice was to go out when you're underage, have alcohol, have too much alcohol, and get behind the wheel of a car. And because you made that choice, you're here before this court today. The sanctions are going to be fairly strict, but I think it's something that if you get through, that you have a chance to turn your life around. Your lawyer has told me several things which I think you need to consider. First of all, She's told me that you have a basketball scholarship to Florida State University. And I want you to understand the penalties that you're going to receive today go beyond what I impose. There's no guarantee that that basketball scholarship is going to be available to you now that you've have this criminal record. That's out of my hands. But that's something you should have thought of before you went out and drove that night. She's also told me that you live with your mother and that you have 2 younger siblings. Well, those younger siblings look up to you, and you're a role model for them. And she's also told me about how you help her and that you take your brother and sister other places and you help around the house. Well, your ability to do those kind of things is going to be restricted because of this crime. And once again, you should have thought of your family before you did that. And finally, she told me that you want to become a teacher. Well, a teacher is a professional job. It requires a license. And there's no guarantee that, once again, this is out of my hands, whether or not you're going to be able to get a professional license now that you have this criminal record. Those are all examples of things that happen that go beyond the courtroom that you should have thought of when you made that choice that night. Nonetheless, being before the court, I'm going to impose the following conditions which you must abide by. You'll be on probation for a year. You will have to pay a $500 fine. You're going to have to pay court costs. I'm going to suspend your driver's license for 1 year. Once again, you will not be able to drive anywhere for yourself. You will not be able to help your mother out. I'm going to impose a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, which means you must be at home unless you're at a school activity with your parents. And then finally, I'm going to require that you go and get drug and alcohol counseling, and that you must successfully complete the DUI class. And I'm also going to require that you do 50 hours of community service. And then finally, I'm going to impose 10 days of secure detention as part of this sentence because of the choice you made that night. These are all serious penalties. And let me tell you this, Mr. Davis, you're on probation. If you violate this court's probation, you'll come back before this court, and I could sentence you to a juvenile commitment program. I don't know if you know what that is, but that would be, you'd be taken out of the home anywhere from maybe 6 months to a year. You'd be put in a facility that has educational requirements and so forth, and then rehabilitative training, and you'd be taken out of your home. And I can guarantee if that were to happen, then you probably wouldn't have that scholarship and the ability to become a teacher down the road. So you've got a lot of hard work to do. Mr. Davis, I believe you can do it, and I believe you have the ability to turn your life around, but it's going to have to start right here. At this time, Mr. Davis, I'm going to remand you to custody of the secure detention facility. Court's in recess. Thank you.
I'm Superintendent Dr. Greg Atkins. We value each and every student in Lee County. You are our future, and we depend on you to make good choices. Many kids don't know that drinking and drugs can really affect your brain. You are growing, and so's your brain. I know from visiting our schools every day that kids are choosing art, music, sports, math, computers, gardening, and all kinds of healthy hobbies, not alcohol and drugs. Unfortunately, Travis did not. How do you think Travis felt when he found himself in court? How do you think Travis's choices affected his plans for college and his future? Molly and Ashley also made some bad choices when they got to the party. Let's see what happened to them.
Ashley! Ashley, come on, get out! Look at me! Ashley! Ashley, get out, please! Ashley!
She's not breathing? Mom, she did step out of the car. What's your name?
Molly.
All right, Molly, what happened tonight?
We got in a crash.
Yeah, you been drinking?
A little.
Okay, you're going to go to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
How much drink you had?
A lot.
A lot? All right, be placed under arrest for driving, drinking and driving.
Okay. Ashley! Ashley, please! Get up, Ashley!
I'm Jim Nathan with Lee Health. You know, car crashes happen every day, every hour, doesn't matter when. But they can happen so instantly with bad decisions, distracted driving, texting, eating, drinking, talking on the phone, whatever it might be. But think about this. Add drugs and alcohol to that, and now you've got a disaster in place. Families and lives can be instantly destroyed for not only the present, but for generations to come. As you watch what happens next, think about your mom, your dad, sisters, brothers, friends, how they would feel if this was you.
I can definitely smell that alcohol also. Let's go ahead and start 2 large bore IVs. Let's hook her up to the ventilator there. Let's draw some blood and get CAT scan notified. We'll do a full trauma profile on her.
CAT scan, ER1.
She has no lung sounds here on the left. Let's go ahead and do a chest tube.
1 minute down.
We've got lab sent off and a liter of fluids running in wide open.
All right. Chest tubes in, lots of blood coming out. Is there any family here?
They haven't been able to find the mom yet, but social work just identified that the patient's name is Ashley. We're working on family.
Rhythm is changing. We had a change in rhythm. Looks like she's in VTAC. Go ahead and start chest compressions. Can I get the paddles, please? We're going to have to shock her.
1 minute 30.
Charging. All right. 3, 2, 1, clear.
3 minutes 30.
Looks like she's in asystole now. She's flatlined. Guys, I think we're going to have to call this one. Time of death?
1857.
All right. Do we know if family ever came?
Unfortunately, they haven't shown up yet.
Let's get her in this body bag. That's a shame.
Mom's going to have to identify her in the morgue. I don't know how you tell parents that their child didn't make it.
I'm Pastor Dennis Gingrich from Cape Christian. None of these kids wanted anything bad to happen. They just wanted to have some fun with their friends. Travis had a bright future ahead of him. He was on track to play basketball in college. Instead, he went to jail and he lost his chance for a college scholarship because of the convictions against him. Molly ended up in court where she was convicted on all charges and is serving 25 years in prison. And all Ashley wanted was to be popular. And look what happened to her when she made bad choices. I know that you all make good choices every day. Good choices can also be hard choices, especially when it comes to drinking and drugs. Please take a few minutes today and talk about what you saw in this Odyssey. Talk about what choices were made and what better choices could have been made. Act out what you say or do if you're around alcohol or drugs. And talk about some of the consequences of making bad choices.